How's it
On one side of the table, we have Pakistan, and on the other side of the table, we have India.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Start kar le.
Yeah, Zeyan. So, you know Zeyan?
Mm-hmm. No. Are you going to start with that? Will this go on, Pratik? I think it should go on.
You know, I want to have controversies, man.
Vishal woke up and chose violence today. But on that note, welcome to Karak Chat podcast. This is our 10th episode. And we are doing something different today. Vishal was really excited to be a guest today. So, you know, we had to turn the tables.
Yeah.
Different setup.
Yeah.
And yeah, welcome to the show, Vishal.
Oh, welcome to you back because you're yourself a guest and the host today, and we are acting.
Vishal, are you okay?
As a host? Yeah, I'm okay.
Are you nervous?
I'm okay. I woke up at the right side of the bed.
Oh, okay, because
today, so I'm very happy.
Because your sentences are coming from the wrong side.
No, it is not. What do you mean it's coming from the wrong side? Okay. Anyways. How's your day going, Zeyan?
My day was supposed to be really good. I was supposed to be on bed all day.
Yes.
And then I got emotionally blackmailed by someone by saying, you guys don't come, you don't support, you don't record, you ruined my day. So I was like, oh man, this guy, he really, is something. And so here I am. With a tea in my hand.
Yeah, but that's what we need to do because
our hardworking producer was coming, driving 2 hours all the way to, on his break.
Yes.
So we could satisfy our guest today. Anyways, Vishal.
Yes.
How's your day going?
My day is good. I'm really excited
Mm-hmm.
having you guys over here. Finally, we are shooting this podcast.
Yeah.
And let's see how it goes. But I'm really excited.
What are you excited
And
about?
on the part of this whole thing where you blamed me for what did you blame me for?
When did I blame you?
You didn't blame me, but you definitely said emotional blackmail.
About who?
So with friends, you can only use emotional blackmail.
Oh.
You cannot ask them, you cannot force them to do anything. So that's why I use that part. Yes.
Special tip 101, guys. There will be more throughout the episode.
Yes, and I think you guys will agree with me. Emotional blackmail works out the best with friends.
Okay, you don't have to make puppy dog faces on the camera. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right. Great start.
So where do you want to start with, Zeyan?
Vishal, I think it's all about you today.
It's not all about me. It's all about us both.
Oh, okay.
So let's start with how we normally start with our guests about asking them about what they're doing at present and everything. So I want to ask you this thing, right? Okay. So what's happening with you at present?
Oh, I was not ready for this. I thought this was about you.
Tell me. No. It's about us both. So
what's happening with me today?
Yeah.
I mean, in general, I would say, it's Eid.
Yes.
Eid Mubarak to everyone, a late one because this episode got late, but I'm working on Eid.
Yes.
That's a sad part. And, just trying to live life and I manage the stress of work, wedding preps. And I think that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I recently heard that, or not recently heard, you recently announced that you got married. So how's that part
I
of
did
life
not
going?
announce it, and I'm not looking to announce it.
But how did that go?
It was good. It was great.
Good?
Yeah, small event. Close family members. Turned out to be like 200, 300 people, sadly. It's not close. I didn't know I had close family members that much. But it was going good. It's different. I forget sometimes that I'm married. And then I check my phone. I'm like, oh, wait, I'm married. But yeah, and I think more than marriage, it's more of the select the clothes, the size, the haul, who to invite, who to not piss
invite.
off
Yeah.
by not inviting. Fighting with my mom on the guest list. It's not going my way. But it's an adventure itself. I am pretty sure you will experience this soon.
I hope so. No, I don't hope, but let's see. But then, like, I had this interesting conversation with one of my best friends, like college best friends yesterday. He got married last year.
Okay.
And we were having this very interesting conversation where he was so pissed off at people.
Yeah.
Like, those typical Indian guys or desi guys, I would say, like, who would be like, if you don't invite them to a family function or anything, and then after, like, they'll meet you after like 6 months and I was like, you didn't call us for your marriage? Like, no matter, like, they might have not called you for like 100 of their events in their family.
Yeah.
But like one event happened in your family and they would be like, you didn't call us for your event. Yeah. So like, and he was so pissed off at that and everything. So like, did you go through that kind of experience during your marriage?
See, the issue is,
a
lot of my friends don't know I got married. A lot of my friends don't know that I got married.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think on a handful I can count maybe 12 people know.
Yeah, so this is your announcement in the podcast that, hey guys, I've got married?
No.
No, not yet?
No.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, Vishal, you tell me, when's the big day?
I don't know, man. Like,
do you have someone right now in your life?
No, not yet.
Like, ladies, here it is. His Instagram. Karak Chat Instagram. Yes. Send the profiles. We'll wet it out.
Man.
If you're going through a depressed phase in your life and you want to just date this guy, it will faster.
No, but it's really hard to find someone you can connect with, and I think that's the probability is 1 in a million.
Really?
I'm pretty sure about it. And that 1 in a million is that one person that you can properly connect with.
Okay.
And after that, like, if you remove that one from the equation, rest all of them is where you have to just compromise. So that's how I use it. So so maybe I did or did not find my 1 in a million.
How do you know that that person was, or that you haven't found someone yet? It's turning out to be a
relationship advice.
Damn,
but no, it's like, I'll tell you one thing. I think it's completely based on, like, you might think that it's all bullshit in Bollywood movies, and most of them would think the same, but it's actually true that, like, when you go to a space and you find a woman and you see somebody and you like, first you will know, like, she's the one, and second, like, like, when you start talking to them, you instantly connect with
Bollywood
them.
Music going on in the background.
Bollywood music, the violins playing and everything. But that's true. That's true, and that happens only with 1 in a million.
No,
with the rest of them, it's just okay. You get to know them, and then you meet them, and maybe you go on multiple dates and this and that, and then try to understand them. But yeah, that 1 in a million is completely special. So yeah.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this thing called therapy?
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad you did.
No, I don't need a therapy. I don't need a therapy right now.
Yes,
sure? Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. All right. Okay. Let's change the topic.
Let's do this, please. Let's change the topic. You know what? I have some few questions for you.
All right. Okay.
How do you think your journey on the podcast has been so far?
Wow, that's a good question.
That's how a host asks questions, not about your marriage. I'm joking.
Right. Yeah. No, but learned a lot, especially about myself.
Okay.
I've become more fluent, I would say. Like, I don't have to. I would say that it has kind of reflected in my job as well, like how I meet and greet people, and how I start a conversation with them. So and also, like, I've mentioned it before. Also, looking at I am that kind of person who looks at my videos again and again. Yeah. Not that I'm narcissistic, but it's more of like
you're self-obsessed.
Not even self-obsessed.
Right,
yeah. But I just try to learn, like, from the mistakes that I have done in the past. So it is kind of embarrassing looking at your own videos. But then you know like what mistake you have done, and you just have to register it in your head that you don't repeat it later. But yes, I have repeated multiple mistakes multiple times.
Are we still talking about the podcast?
At the start of the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not just about the podcast, it's about life as well. Like, self-reflect on yourself.
That's good. That's good.
Yes. What about you? How was your journey?
Boring, man. No, I'm joking. No, it's been good. Was I expecting us to be as consistent as we've been? I don't think so. I was like hoping, or not, I wasn't hoping. I was expecting us to slack off, but I think that's where you come in with your emotional blackmailing. And that really does keep everyone together, and we do a good job. And yeah, I think the most difficult part is finding the right guest.
Oh, yes.
The right questions for those guests.
Yes.
But it's been interesting.
Yeah.
Again, I don't look at my videos because I know I'm gonna hate it. I'm my biggest, I would say, critic. So if I watch my episodes, I'm like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. So I avoid watching those episodes. So I leave you to that, and yeah, I just go with the flow.
Wow. Yeah. No, but to let you guys know, Zeyan is the most prepared host in the podcast because he comes up with his research and everything. I'm just the guy who just has like
you go free flow.
I go with the
balance
free
we
flow.
need.
Yes.
That's a good balance.
So that's how we we end up with the teamwork. But Zeyan is the one who comes up with all the preparations. Speaking about guests and speaking about episodes, which one is your favorite guest until now?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Or let's not say which one is your favorite guest. I would say which one is your favorite episode, and you can evaluate that episode in multiple ways. Like maybe intense. It was very intense, or it was very fun. So based on any of the characteristics, what do you think?
Oof. I think my favorite episode will always be the first episode that we recorded.
All right, okay.
We had zero preparation. The guest had zero preparation. He had no idea what's going to happen to him. And I think that was the biggest learning episode on how to actually structure the podcast.
Right.
Because the first time the idea was always in my head. But when you actually put it in reality, there's a big difference. And I think, again, that episode still gets views, and that makes me happy because that was the most natural episode we did. No preparations, just went free flow. And the guest also had a good response.
Yeah.
And the way he interacted with us, that was good too.
Yes.
And I think that was fun. That was a fun episode.
Yeah.
I think for me, nothing will top that. What about you?
I think, okay, speaking of the first episode will always be our baby. So I wouldn't say anything about that because it's the most special one, right? And we were so excited when it released for the first time, and even the guest was amazing. But for me was the start of the season, I would say. And I would say the one with where we spoke about with Rania, basically, that episode. It was I would say it is one of the best episodes that
I'm sorry guys, you can go on.
that we recorded until now. Because
go on.
Yeah, because look, it was especially someone who neither of us knew.
Yeah.
Right, so we were completely unaware of what's going to happen. We didn't speak to her much before the podcast could have started, and all we had to do was be as natural as we could and ask relevant questions. And I think we tried our best on that, even though we did learn a lot of things from that podcast and then implemented in our next podcasts. But I would say that would be something until now it would be I would say somewhere we have pivoted our podcasts, and that's where for now that episode is
that's a benchmark for you.
Right now. So maybe next time we'll do something new, and that could be our benchmark. But for now, this one is the benchmark. Yeah.
What's been your worst podcast?
Worst podcast? Yeah, the one where I was sleeping. I think The worst one was, and I literally got like, I literally got like Zeyan was like angry with me after that podcast. Like, what were you doing, and why did you do certain stuff? And I think it
What's
was
been
with,
your worst
I still don't know how to say the
podcast?
name.
Oh
Can
my
you say
God.
the
Worst
name for me,
podcast?
Zeyan?
Deborah.
Yeah, the one where yes, the podcast with her.
Yeah.
I think that was my worst performance
The
as a
worst
host. One was, and I literally got like,
Yeah.
I literally
What do you
got,
think about?
like,
I
Zeyan
want to
was,
discuss
like,
about one more
angry
podcast
with
over
me.
here.
After
What do you
that
think
podcast,
about
like,
the
what
podcast
were
that
you
we
doing?
had,
Why did you do certain stuff?
Ajju?
And I think it was with.
How was
I still don't know how to say that.
It was
Can you
a,
say
it
the
was
name
a,
for
we
me,
saw
Zeyan?
Vishal's true
Deborah.
colors
Yes,
on Gen Z.
the podcast
and,
with her.
even
I
was
think that
shocked.
was my worst
That wasn't
performance.
And because
as a
of that,
host,
we were invited to another podcast. Shout out to Dollar Diaries. Doing a good job. And where Vishal got into fights with Gen Z, like actual Gen Zs.
Yeah.
And at that moment of time, I was like, "What am I doing here?" On their episode, but Ajju one, it was interesting. You saw different views from different generations, and yeah, there he made some good points about job and everything. I didn't agree with a lot of stuff when he said about Gen Z, but it was an interesting episode, and especially interesting for you because you got a lot of fame out of that. I would say.
I didn't get fame out of that, but I'll
Yeah.
tell you something.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys think that I fought, right? But let me tell you something about me, which I realized very recently.
Yeah.
My,
Mhm.
I would say my behavior or my attitude
Yeah.
is a reflection of what I'm wearing that day. So if I'm wearing a very simple casual wear,
Yeah.
I would talk very casually with you.
Okay.
But if I'm wearing a very formal dress and everything, right?
Yeah.
My conversations would look serious
Got
to
it.
you. I don't know how does that happen, and I realized that
Yeah.
very recently.
Uh-huh.
And that day I was wearing formal. So
Yeah.
in my defense, it was not a fight. It was just a mistake that I was wearing formals, and I was talking very seriously with a very serious face.
I apologize to everyone who has seen that episode. Great content, by the way.
Yeah.
And Vishal wasn't fighting. Vishal was just being himself.
Yes.
It wasn't a fight. We were on good terms with everyone. But his hatred for Gen Z is real.
No, it's not. It's not, guys. Come on. Yeah.
No, I'm joking. To everyone in his workplace, that's not true. He loves all of you guys. And he doesn't think you guys slack off. Yeah, why did you bring that episode?
No, I was just,
Okay.
I just wanted to know your opinion on that episode.
I mean, if anyone watches the Dollar Diaries episode, they will find out why, my true feelings about that episode, which, you can go and check that out. But it was long. It was a different setting. We had different mics. So it was a good episode to set things up for us. But yeah, that was the first episode which I reflected upon my own performance. I was like, yeah, I need to do a better job as a host. I need to, know when to cut the guest off, but in a way that's not impolite. And I think I grew up more after that episode. But yeah.
Yes. So, all right. Let's talk about our theme of our podcast, and let's go.
Before we go into the theme, I
Yeah.
want to ask you this: who has been the most annoying guest you've ever worked with?
Annoying.
Yeah,
You.
I'm not a guest.
You are a guest and a host, so I would
no,
say
I'm a
you.
host.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, none of the guests have been annoying. If you would say which episode was annoying, I wouldn't say guest, but if you ask me which episode was annoying for me, are those episodes where the guests don't talk, right? As in they're not as talkative as you are, and you have to bring in that conversation from them. And I would say those kind of episodes are annoying for me. I wouldn't say which episodes, but yes, some episodes where the guests talk they have minimal. They like to have minimal conversations, and you have to bring out that conversation out from them, right? So, I think that's very annoying, and it's very stress. You get stressed a lot. Because you don't want to ask the wrong questions.
I would like to say that I did not find any of our guests not talking. It's only Vishal's views. So please do come back.
You're trying to be on the good books.
No, I'm being honest.
Yes, you're trying to be on the good books.
I think
be honest.
Every guest has
Be honest.
Yeah. Okay, you take the name of the guest.
No, I'll not take the name
Why?
of the guest. Why should I take the name of the
Why
guest?
not?
No, but I'm trying to be honest. You are not honest.
I'm honest.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? We need to record your reactions after every episode, so
should
that
be-
we show the true Zeyan to the world.
You will see a perfectly good reaction.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see that. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, moving on. Yeah,
Anyways.
you were asking about the theme.
Yes. So, moving back to the theme of this podcast,
Yeah.
right? And we talk about our with our guests their journey in Dubai, how did they end up having their jobs and everything. So, let's talk about that, because it has to be, we have to talk about ourselves as well, right?
Yeah.
So let's start with your journey. Tell us, how did you end up in Dubai, and how did you end up with your first internship or a job?
Ooh.
Yeah.
How did I end up in Dubai? I screwed up my A levels,
Okay.
and I was gonna give a retest. And I was preparing. I was in Saudi. I used to live in Saudi, and my dad comes home one day from work, and he's like, "Yeah, we applied for foundation at Harry University. You got in. Pack your bags. We're moving out tomorrow." And 2 days later, it's a Thursday. I'm living in Sharjah. Parents drop me off. They leave on Saturday. Was it? No, they leave on Friday. I think that time, whatever the weekend was, it was Friday, Saturday at that moment. And then I have university the next day, and my journey in UAE began there.
Right.
Yeah.
But so UAE was not your first plan. Oh, okay, okay.
It was gonna be University of Manchester. That was
Right.
the dream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I screwed it up myself.
Right.
No one else to blame. But yeah, I think that was my first option. Second was always going back home to Pakistan. UAE was never an option for me. I was lived in Middle East my whole life, want to experience something else. Sadly, that didn't happen. But again, I think this was also a good decision towards the end.
Wow.
First internship. I got reached out on LinkedIn by a recruiter. You want me to say the name of the company?
No, you don't have to if you.
I don't mind. My first internship was
Right.
a tax internship, and I was like, okay, that's new. And the only reason I got hired is because I had Arabic written on my CV.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know that at that moment. I thought I aced the interview. They loved me. And then my first day, they called me to the pantry. They were having samosas. And our CFO from US was visiting. And she's like, oh, so why'd they hired you? And my manager, she was there. She's like, oh, he has a good profile and he knows Arabic. And tax just got introduced in UAE and Saudi, so we need someone with Arabic. And I'm there scratching my head. I was like, I am screwed. Because the only Arabic I know is elementary level Arabic. What do they want me to do? And I'm getting these actual documents where I have to create VAT certificates in Arabic. And all the documents are in Arabic. And I'm typing it on Google Translate. And working. And it's working, right? And one day my manager comes and she's standing behind me and she was like, hey, can you translate this for me?
Yeah.
And she's not going back. Normally, I'll get the papers and I'll just send it on Teams, this is what it means. And now she's there and I was like, what do I do? So I'm like, hey, listen, this is in Emirati Arabic. I know Saudi Arabic. Let me translate this because some words are different for me. And she bought it, which is true. There's a difference, but on that particular document, it wasn't. I did that. I was still proud of myself, right? Then we hired another intern. She was local. And I was like, you know what? My life's easier now. She's going to do all that work. And one day I see she's using Google Translate too. I'm like, what's the difference between you and I? She's like, I didn't study finance Arabic.
Right.
It's like, wow.
Right.
I really pulled it off.
Right. But there's nothing wrong in using the translation app, right?
No, but it's not. But they didn't know that. They expected I was a fluent Arabic because I lived in Saudi.
Okay.
Coming here.
Okay.
But yeah, and I didn't deny it.
So you got through the internship?
Yeah.
You completed the internship.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you got your first permanent job.
No. So I got my internship when I was in third year.
Right.
They did ask me to not complete my fourth year and join them, but I was
Right.
like, nah. I mean, I paid so much. I want to finish my degree properly.
Right.
So I chose to do that.
And then you got another.
I got a
So friends.
yeah.
Moral of the story is confidence is the key. You need to have confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And then you can achieve anything you want. Yeah.
Or lie on your CV. No, don't lie. Don't lie.
Don't lie.
I didn't
Don't lie. Never
it was
lie
a
on your
very
CV.
gray area.
Yes.
But yeah, that's how. That was my first internship, and that's how I came to Dubai.
Yeah.
What about you?
Mine. Oh, we mentioned it earlier.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So I was working in. I just get a call on LinkedIn saying that, hey, we are from Dubai, and we would like to we would like you to attend our interview and see if you're a good match or not. I attended the interview. Well, that was again one big story of how I attended the interview, because I actually the interview was like after my office hours, and I actually forgot about the interview, and then I was going back home. I remembered it. I remembered the whole. I remembered about the interview when I was going home midway, and then I used to go on my motorcycle, so I stopped and I messaged back to the HR that can we have this interview tomorrow? I have something to. I have another important meeting. And then the HR replied me back, listen, you should have told us a little ahead of time. You because I arranged this whole interview and the CEO of the company is going to attend this interview and everything. So I was like, okay. So I wrote back and they were waiting me for the interview. And I didn't know, and I had to go back to my office, and I was so scared to take the interview from there. I found a common place, and in that common area there was one corner which was empty. I sat there and I took the interview, and I had to make sure that I was not loud enough to basically screw up my current job, because I don't know what's going to happen with the interview, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and finally they actually liked whatever I said, answered in that interview, and it was good, and I ended up in Dubai.
Wow.
And it was I would say something like, I met some of the very closest friends, good friends in this job, in my first job in Dubai. Yeah. And it was a great journey for me, those 3 years of my life.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
Like you started the episode by taking a jab at for the whole Pakistani thing. Did you ever think living your whole life in India that your closest friends would be Pakistanis?
No, I never thought so. But I was okay. You know what? When I first came to the UAE, I did not. You can call me racist, but I did not want to be around my community.
Okay.
Right? I was like, I have come outside of India.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stay in an area where I don't find my community. I want to feel like as if you're in a foreign country, and you know how UAE is. Wherever you go, you would find your people, right? So I was like, I need to find an area. So that's why I moved to Marina. And even though the worst decision of my life, moving there, but I moved to Marina, and I was with an open mindset, I wouldn't think that, I would only make friends with
Desi people.
Desi people or Indians in specific, because, and I also, it's because of, we had to travel across India, and I never had friends. Like the closest friends that I could make was in university.
Got it, yeah.
So because so you don't have we call bachpan ke friends, right? I don't know how to say it.
Childhood friends.
Childhood, sorry, yes, that was simple. Yeah, childhood friends. So I didn't have any childhood friends. It was my first besties that I could make was in universities. and then I moved here. So it was a very open mindset. I came with a very open mindset. The only thing that I had was like, I need to have that foreign exposure.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's why I moved to Marina.
Yeah.
But yes, and I wasn't surprised when I could say that, maximum of my friends are from Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You want to ask?
Okay. What was your? What do you think of being my friend?
Yeah.
What is, I would say, after being my friend?
Yeah.
And before being my friend. So before and after.
Mm-hmm.
What was your perception about Indians?
I've had more Indian friends before, right?
Oh, you had?
You're not my first Indian friend.
I thought I was your only Indian friend.
No.
Yes.
I have more Indian friends than I have Pakistani friends.
Right.
Oh. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Even in school, when I moved different cities in Saudi, my first friend, I would call him, I would say, could be my best friend too at that time, was an Indian, AK, he's from Hyderabad. Weird guy, still is weird, but one of the nicest person I've ever met, and someone I trust. And then even moving in Dubai, again, like you saw, you don't want to be friends with your community. I walk into my university, British university, and all I see is brown faces. And I'm like, oh, Indians, Pakistanis, Sri Lankans, here and there. And I was like, man, we're everywhere, right? So you can't really get out of that. And some of my really good friends are Indian. So I've never had an issue with Indians, unless it's a cricket match.
They lost the recent match, India versus Pakistan.
Yeah. We're a shit team. What can I say? But yeah, I've never had anything against Indians.
Yeah.
I think the only time I ever say something is when someone says something directly to me.
Right.
And that's the only time.
Yeah.
I think I have a very good supportive Indian friends. Will back me up as well. So growing up outside of Pakistan, I think maybe that's one of the reasons where that hatred was never there.
Right.
Do I make racist jokes? Yes, I do. About Indians.
You
to
do?
my Indian friends.
Okay.
Yeah, not to you. I don't know why I don't. I should more.
No, you shouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they do it back, so it's it's fun banter, but nothing like crazy or something extreme. But yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you're not that special, man.
I think yeah. Right. Good to know.
No, I'm joking. You're one of my best friends, man. I'm glad we met. I wouldn't be doing an episode with you.
Oh yes, a
podcast with you.
Yeah, man. You have always been supportive to me as well. So, but I was just thinking, all this India-Pakistan thing, and especially in UAE, unless you don't say anything, I would say, which would hurt each other, I think that's in a good place. And mostly we don't. We try to not touch the sensitive points around each other, and I think that should be under control.
Exactly. Yeah.
Other than that, everything is fine except the Indian-Pakistan match. That goes really rough.
No, I don't think it's that bad over here.
It's not. I think it's bad. The way the first T20 World Cup in 2021 that you guys danced in front of me after Pakistan won against India.
Guys.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
The first time we ever won against India, with zero hopes. And then we had another intern over there, my intern, who was saying a lot of shit, who just ran away before the game ended. So yeah, that had to be done.
And I didn't say anything.
Yeah, because you're not that into cricket.
Yeah, I'm not that into sports. I was just supporting both the team. May the best team win, right?
Yeah.
So but you guys made fun of me in front of me.
No, we didn't make fun of you.
Yes.
No. That was all part of that's a part of being friends.
Yeah. And how did you feel with the recent match between India and Pakistan? I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
That day I did a mistake of getting a haircut. Mm-hmm. And the barber who I get the haircut with is from Pakistan. Mm-hmm. And even him, because Pakistan was at the winning streak at that time, they were up, everybody thought that the probability of Pakistan winning was higher when I went for the haircut. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Pakistan is going to win and this and that, and he was making fun and everything. The moment the haircut was over, we checked the scores, okay. And the game has completely changed in India's favor. Yeah.
I'll go on my little mini rant on this, even though this is not a cricket podcast, but I think because we're just talking with Chai.
Yes, we're from a country where cricket is worshipped. So.
When we got you all out on 119,
yes,
I knew we were gonna lose. Not because you guys will play well. It's because we are shit. We've been shit for the past 3 years. I'll take names. We have an ex-cricketer called Wahab Riaz, who's part of the selection committee, who's a sports minister. But for some reason, instead of being in the country fixing sports, he's with the team in a team huddle. And, when your cricket team before the World Cup goes for army training, like they're going to go in war, instead of actually training cricket, you're going to lose, And so the point is that we're shit. Everyone needs to be sacked. Long live Babar Azam. Love the guy. Okay, I know everyone hates him right now, but if you have 10 players who don't know how to play, how do you expect the captain to lead?
Yeah, but you guys really take it to your heart, man. They did play well.
I'll tell you why we take it to our heart.
They just got unlucky.
No, we didn't get unlucky. We're shit.
No, you guys got unlucky.
Listen, the reason people take cricket to our heart is, the state of Pakistan. It's not the best, right? When you have one thing which gives you happiness, you expect them to do well. And again, our people are very, I would say, lunatic when it comes to cricket because, they love cricket more than they love their families. That shouldn't be like that.
But yes, there are even back in India, there are people who take cricket to their heart. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking for them. I'm talking to you. I'm talking about them.
But the thing is, it impacts more to Pakistanis because, man, we have nothing going on our way, right? So they're like, man, this one little thing. But the issue is with our people is they're not critical. Right. They're just rude.
Right.
And that shouldn't be like that. And I guess they don't understand the sport either. They don't know why he's playing that way. And again, you'll see a lot of videos where people will just tear off their shirt and start yelling. And, you all have seen that video. Yeah. And the point is, it gets them views. It gets them content. They get famous.
Right.
Even if you're winning, they will be critical. So I think, man, you take the worst part and you make money out of it. And that's what majority of Pakistanis do.
But every India-Pakistan match, the best part is the meme. The memes on social media. And even this India-Pakistan match, they were I laughed on memes coming out from the Pakistan social media pages more than what came from the Indian pages. Man, they were hilarious.
Bro, I see that this is what we're good at. We're really good at mocking ourselves, We've been used to it. Especially Pakistani Twitter. I think it's one of the craziest places to be in. Very creative people. Used to be part of it before I got banned. White people. I'm joking. But yeah, man, I think Pakistanis are very creative when it comes to just putting yourselves down.
No, that's not the
case. In a very good way.
That's not the case. But I really enjoyed after that. And
of course you did.
And of course you did. Anyways, last topic about the cricket. Who's your favorite team this World Cup?
It's Australia.
All right. Mine is USA.
Oh.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh,
Underdogs, man. Come on. They did really well. Okay, you can say that they had their whatever share of because the turfs are in US and they were lucky because of it. It was their own benefit. You can say a lot of things. But they did really well.
They played well. They played well. Yeah, but it's not
even
realistic.
I would say even against India.
Yeah, but it's not realistic.
Okay.
If you said Afghanistan, I would okay, fine.
No, because I'm a non-sports background, right? I come here more for me it is more about it might not be about skills or how much you've scored or anything. It might
you want a good underdog story.
Yes, I would be these guys did really well.
See, by chance, if they win the World Cup, the Cricket World Cup,
right?
I just can't stand Americans who are talking. They don't even know the sport and they won a tournament. That's not right, man.
Okay. I get your point.
A country which calls football soccer, and when they play one World Cup and we're the best team in the world. Come on. They play basketball, American football, and they win. Their local team win, and they'll be like, we're the world champions. Come on.
Yeah, but who are the majority players in that team as well?
Yeah, with U.S. passport.
But still.
I would play too for them if I got it.
Yeah?
No. Once you convert, you convert. Especially for you, at least my people can hold dual passwords.
No, come
Yeah,
on. Come on, like they did really well. Yeah. All right, let's move ahead
let's
from
move ahead.
let's
Yeah.
move ahead from
Screw
cricket.
Pakistan cricket. Yeah, yeah.
Let's move ahead from cricket.
Hmm.
So, what's I would let's talk about more about UAE and the job situation over here right now. What's your experience with finding jobs in UAE and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate you.
your reaction made me stop the question right there. I think you understood. So I just want you to continue with whatever you were about to say.
Job situation.
Yeah.
It's
And your experience, I would say.
it's always been tough. I've always been lucky, I would say, with me finding jobs. But I would say also it's been tough because, I think we have discussed this with one of our guests where the idea of whether you need connections or not, that plays a 50-50 role. Job market, I mean, ever since I've been born, I've been hearing the job market in UAE is bad. That's a consistent phrase I hear. And I see it why it is bad. But it's difficult finding jobs here. See, whether you're here or anywhere in the world you're going to move here, it's difficult. And I think the connection aspect does play a pivotal role in you getting any job, because once someone has that backing of you, they're like, okay, you know what, let's just give this person a chance, especially if you do good at your own job. But the worst part in UAE is getting ghosted.
Getting ghosted
By recruiters.
Oh, right. Like they didn't respond to you after.
Yeah, like, say, yo, you're selected, everything's done. And then they just ghost you, right? Happened to me very, very recently where I got selected. I think he's the general manager of the company. He was like, man, you're selected. Say no to all the offers. And for the past 6 months, he's been saying, I'm going to hire you. So it gets annoying because you're like, okay, I've got something. You're preparing for something. It doesn't happen. Then you're like, man, I need to change or I need to go back in that hole. It gets difficult. So I would say that's been the hard part, especially with a lot of startups. That's the issue you will face, where they will either ghost you or whatever they're selling you and you say yes, it's not true. So I think that's my experience so far.
I think that's the problem as well, right? When people in power, when I'm saying people in power to hire somebody, take things for granted.
Yeah.
Because like they can, I would say a person who respects other person would definitely go and reply back. But a person who's not respecting the person who is applying for a job, for that person, it's only like, you know what, like there's so many people in the market. If not him, I can hire somebody else. And I think majority of them hold that kind of perception, like, okay, if he's not there, then I'll hire somebody else, like, and that's always there because they have so many options. But I would say a person in a senior position or a position of power should have that kind of intelligence that, you know what, like a job is a job and it matters to each and every one of them. And he has to make sure, like, even if that person gets a job, to give that job on time, to send that offer letter on time. And if he's not able to send that offer letter, just give them a reason. Like, we cannot send you an offer letter. We need 6 more months or whatever. But the other person on the other side of the table, he has so much of hopes in him, and he's just waiting for that one offer letter when it's going to reach him, right? So don't take things for granted, I would say, like, and respect the person on the other side of the table.
No, that's a good point, man.
Yes, they have to start doing that. And I'm not saying it's just in UAE. We are in UAE when we are seeing what's happening in UAE. True. Maybe it's happening around the world. Right?
100%.
So like it's for everyone. Like, just don't take the person on the other side for granted. Like they have so much hopes, they have so many ambitions, right? And you are just trying to hinder what they are aiming for. Yeah.
What's been your worst experience with an HR?
My worst experience with an HR? I don't think so. I have had any worst experience. It's only when people have reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, hey, we liked your profile. Can you send me your resume to this so-and-so email ID? And I've sent them the resume, and then I don't get a reply from them back. So that's the only thing, because like, you know, even though you're not searching for a job and then somebody reaches out to you, it raises some kind of hope. Oh, this might be a better opportunity, or I might get paid higher than what I'm earning right now. So that raises slight hope in you, right? So even that, but now I've learned from it, so I don't have any hopes anymore. Like, even if anybody reaches out to me and they ask me like, can you share your resume, I do share, because you shouldn't miss an opportunity. It's opportunity is coming your way, just share it. Them calling, not calling is their decision.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay, you just don't have hopes, you're just like, you know what, I'll just send it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, right?
It doesn't. Okay.
Oh well. Any other questions you want to ask about the UAE job market, or is this it?
No. I think that's it. I would say, like, about the UAE job market. But do you have anything else to add?
I think we cover this on every episode. I don't want to bore our audiences with this, but I think we should move on to more about the podcast itself.
Right.
I wanna put this as the last segment. Would you, or something related to the job, would you, if you get the chance to do this full time and get paid, would you leave your current job, or like in working in general, and focus on this?
Well, if this gives me more money than what I'm currently earning, I would leave it. I'll just leave it in a second. Like, I would leave my present job in, like, you know, if I get to know that, you know, okay, let me be more clear. So if I start earning more than what I'm earning right now from this podcast, and if there is stability in that income, because with this kind of job, I would say, or with this kind of business in podcast, your monthly income might not be stable. Like, 1 month you're getting a big amount, and so I'm talking about average. So if that is stable, I would say that I would just close my eyes and leave my current job and do this podcast full time, even though I love my job. I love digital marketing. No matter where I'm doing it. So yes, and this would give me an opportunity to make this full time. And
not emotionally blackmail people.
And not that's not going to go like that's not going to be. But then I would have time to start something on my own. So I would really love to do this podcast full time if I get a chance. Please sponsor. You
heard the guy.
What about you?
100%.
100%? Yeah.
I don't even know what I like to do, so I would rather just do this and then focus on myself later. But because I like it, like this. The idea of podcast is something, it's been with me since I was a kid. Because the first podcast I ever watched was by Ray William Johnson, an OG YouTuber who fell off. But and his whole concept was that he would call people and just talk about everything, life, faith. And I was like, man, this is good, right? And this was back in 2014. Then I tried working on a podcast where the idea was you would call creators. Because I was very big on Twitter at that time. It was like 2016 or 2015, something like that. And we had a good team. Everything was going well. I don't know, some drama happened and we couldn't get that episode, all those episodes out. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's take a break. Let's focus on studies and you'll see this later. Then 2020 COVID hits. Everyone's at home. And then you see all these people coming up with content, gamers, streamers, lifestyle content. People are just filming themselves sleeping and they're getting money out of it. I was like, man, let's just start this again. Like, what is this? Maybe I should film myself sleeping. I might get some views and streamers. But I realized if you're a guy, it doesn't work. And then me and my friend Ramiz, we started this podcast called The Internet Know-It-Alls. And he came to me and he was like, because he was in Pakistan at the time, because he was stuck there. And he was like, yo, listen, I just started something. I want to do it. So I was like, you know what? Let's try. And we just spoke about the most random stuff. And it was fun. It was just two friends talking, and we tried using different software. We went to Anchor. Their video or their audio recording wasn't that good because it wasn't a video podcast, it was just an audio podcast. And my idea was one episode is just gonna be him and I talk about the most stupidest stuff. What's his favorite Netflix movie or TV shows and something like that, and discuss that. Or we'll call on a guest, and who are nobodies, but they're very talented, and you give them a platform. And I think that really helped us get views because they spoke about their experience and like the difficulties they face or what they were working on, not professionally, but like anything happening in their life, whether it was them releasing a music album, them doing YouTube, or them doing a small side business, and it was fun because it was something genuine, you
Right.
know, and they all appreciated it, and that was nice. And I was like, okay, but because of COVID and distance, that whole podcast didn't work out. And then in my back of my head, I was like, man, I really want to start this. And one of my good friends, she was like, man, just do it yourself. Just do it yourself. And I was like, yeah, but it's not fun. Right. And I'm the guy who always wants his friends to be involved in things.
Right.
And I guess 2023, where you and I discussed this.
Right. Right.
And I got the idea. I was
Last
like,
year.
yeah. I was like, who's the best person to work on this? And my plan was in 2023, I want to start. If I don't find someone, I'll do it myself.
Right.
I think you and I spoke in like February or something like that.
Right.
And then you included Mr. Shy Guy, Mr. Pratik here. And we
Just
sat.
to let you guys know, he's smiling. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's giving looks too. But and that whole name concept where we spent 2 hours thinking of a name, couldn't come up, go home, and then all of a sudden Karak Chat's there, right?
Yes.
And it was fun. It was like, okay, this is it. This is what we do. I still want to improve the podcast. I feel like the structure is nice, but we can do better, and
Yes.
we will do better. But again, it's a start.
Yeah.
And to all the brands out there, before it's too late, before we say no to you, you should say yes to us, because that will happen.
Oh, wow, that was crazy. Yeah, we are going to have a reel on this one for sure.
And yeah, and when I say this will be the number one podcast in the region, it will be the number one podcast in the region.
Yeah, we just have to keep continuing with whatever we are doing, and I have to keep emotionally
Yeah, of
blackmailing
course,
you guys.
that's important. And I guess that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a journey that you spoke.
Yeah.
Of
the most
how this
casual way.
podcast started in the most casual way.
Yeah.
But okay, let's take it a little more forward.
Yeah.
Like why this podcast? Why this theme? Why did you think of doing it?
I'm always a strong believer on helping people, and I think my granddad played a huge role in that because I always see him helping people, supporting people, paying for someone's education, and he wouldn't even brag about it. Like we wouldn't know. A lot of people he helped, we found out after his death that he used to help those people. And I was like, man, like that's and the love he got was immense, right? From strangers we don't know of, and with social media and everything, and me being on Twitter back from 2011 to 2019, I would see so many talented people who create genuine content, and they work hard, but they don't get the respect or even the recognition they deserve.
Right.
And I was like, man, I want a platform where people can come and just talk about themselves.
Right.
Like switch off your professional image that you've created, or whatever image you have created to the world. Just be yourself.
Right.
Come on here, talk about your dreams, your passion, and connect with people.
Right.
And I want to do that because this is the one place where this not work for them, but it's more like it's a relaxing conversation that they want to do, and with that also help everyone else. Because the whole point when we ask people, giving advice to the next generation, that the question is there because I don't want someone else to feel, they can't do anything. And for them to relate to that, to the guest, and be like, what, this person's going through that or
Right.
something similar, and he's where he is or she's where she is right now. I can be that too. And that's the whole point.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's such a noble cause,
Yeah,
by the
man.
way. Yeah, that's a noble thinking, noble cause. Yeah. Unlike me. I just wanted to make money.
I know. I know.
I just wanted to do something where I can make money. So I just came up with this whole idea, like, why don't we do the podcast together? And that's how I got to you, because I knew that you were into podcasting.
You didn't come to me. I came to you. Let's fix that.
Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember what happened.
The whole idea of podcast came from me.
Yes. I mean, we were discussing about whatever.
No, because the thing is, the reason I wanted to work with you is because you always wanted to be a content creator.
Right.
For some reason, I don't know why you're shy, because you made the absurd videos ever. And, with you coming up behind a sofa with singing or something. I don't know what you've done. Great content. But you were too shy to do this.
I know. Like I'm shy to be on camera. I'm shy. I have stage fear as well.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it.
Yes, because I've been trained since my childhood
to be in front of a camera.
To be on the stage and to show that confidence. I guess because I think it's there inside me that I have this fear. But then my mom used to push me on stage all the time. So at least I got used to it. But yeah, I still have that, like, the fear, that same amount of fear is always there. It never goes away.
Yeah.
It's always there. But yeah, like, this podcast for me was like, because you came up with this whole idea, and like, we were talking, I don't remember the exact conversation, but we were talking, and then I was like, okay, this is a good way of like doing something, like creating a content, because for me it was money. Yeah. So that's all. And
we have earned zero money by that.
And we have earned zero money. Yeah. But yes, and I'm being very honest. Like I wanted to make it like a source of income for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
You should be like that.
Yeah.
Would you? Why don't you do content separately?
Oh wow, that's a good question.
Like you did at one point, then you stopped.
Oh yeah, because as you said, like I'm very shy, and to be very honest with you, you might think that I talk a lot with people around me. So
I don't.
No, like as in like I'm very easygoing and I can talk to anybody. But the whole thing is like there's inside my head there is a selective thinking. Like I only talk to people if I know if I really like them. Right? Yeah. But I also talk to people who I don't like because I have to talk to them to get my work done or something like that. Right? So I don't let it come out. Yeah. There. And that's the same thing that reflects over here as well, because I want to do something on screen. Yeah. Right? But I don't want everyone to know about it. Right? Because I only want certain people to see it. Got it. Who I like. Or who I know will support me. Yeah. But there's another section of people who are going to judge me about what I do. And that concerns me more. Like, you might tell me a lot of things, quotes, unquotes, like, why do you think about the people who judge you? Don't think about people around you. But that's there. That's ingrained in your head. So that's why I shy away from, like, making content on social media. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a good answer. I won't say anything. I won't judge you either.
Yes.
I'm not judging you.
Yes.
But I think you've come a long way. Now you can.
Let's see. Because I guess now certain kind of people who, even though like not a lot of people watch my videos, but I know like certain people have this whole perception about like this guy is going to be like this. It's never going to change. So if people have that kind of perception about me, I think it's fine, and maybe someday in future I might create some good content on social media. But I'm trying to be. I'll try to find something which is unique, right? So until I come up with a unique idea, like this podcast that we came up with together, I would keep myself away from it.
Okay. I know we're crossing the time now.
Yeah.
I have two questions for you.
I
think we both can answer those.
Yeah.
First one is, what is your biggest regret so far?
Biggest regret?
Whether it's work, your life, anything.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good question. Biggest regret. I think my regret until now, which might not be there in future, if I do things the right way, is not being in shape,
Mm-hmm.
is not being in form. That's one of my biggest regret. I should have done it way ahead of time
Mm-hmm.
when I was pretty young. I should have gone to the gym. I should have lifted those weights. I feel that because I know with age
Yeah.
it gets a little difficult. When you're 30 and above 30, it gets a little difficult. I wouldn't say it's tough
Yeah.
to achieve it, but yeah, it does really get a little difficult. So I think I should have done it much earlier.
Yeah.
What I'm doing right now, going to the gym and trying to get in shape, that's something a big regret, because you need to be in good health. And
Yeah.
now I'm understanding the whole value
Yeah.
of being in good health, and it's not just about staying healthy.
Yeah.
It's also about looking good and getting
Mhm.
that confidence
Yeah.
when you're talking to people around you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies, again, he's single, ready to mingle, and he's going to the gym. So
You don't have to bring that time and again. What is your biggest regret?
I have two.
Oh,
I have two biggest regrets. I know our Pratik is getting bored over there, so I'm gonna try to keep it short. But my first regret would be being very distant from the people who love me.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And not giving them time. You know, my parents, my 3-4 best friends, you know, are Iman, Sviti, Rami, and I lost in touch with them. And I think even though those are people where I know if after 10 years not talking to them, I'll give them a call, they'll be there for me. But that regret of not being there for their special moments, or them not being there and for my special moments, is my biggest regret. And not spending enough time with my parents. Because I mean, I'm living alone for the past 9 years, since the age of 17, and I feel like I didn't give my mom enough time,
Right.
or my dad enough time, or even my sister grew up and I'm like, man, you know, like she grew up and I wasn't there. So I think that's my biggest regret. So whenever I get a chance, I go back home, give as much as time as I could give it to them. That's what I try to do, because I've learned that life is too short. Running after money or, you know, these glamorous things, it's not going to keep you happy. And it's important to like give, especially family, your time. Even if it's just a 10-minute call, just do it. That's the one. I think second is not being religious enough. It's my personal one. Because I feel like I was very away from it and I was stressed all the time. I was like, you know what, if I'm losing a job, oh, it's the end of the world. And I think you have seen me in the past 2 years where I've been in a very bad situation with jobs. And I think you and a lot of other friends have been like, why aren't you like stressing out? You're so casual about it. I think that the only reason is because I've tried to increase my faith, where I'm like, you know what, things gets better. Because this is not the end of the world. And I think that's what Islam teaches you, especially, is that work hard as much as you can, don't give up, but don't also ponder upon what if. Because if you keep asking your questions, what if, you will never be satisfied with your life. So I think bringing that religious side of me to that moment and learning more about Islam, because there's so much I don't know. I've been a Muslim for all my life, and I'm like, every day I learn something new, and that helps me with life, is something I want to carry on.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's very...
Yeah, philosophically.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your next question?
The final question,
Oh, right.
where we always do this with all our guests, and now it's going to be your turn. How do you define success?
Wow. Right. I'm going to quote two people in my life.
Yeah, me and... oh,
You're very special to me, Zeyan.
Oh.
But here I'm going to quote
Oh, okay.
my dad and one of the persons that I have worked with and
yeah.
who I look up to
Mm-hmm.
in my job.
Okay.
What success means to me is taking full use of the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
that you have in front of you.
Okay.
That is success, because you might have a bigger goal,
Mm-hmm.
right? But to reach to that big goal,
Yeah.
there will be certain opportunities that are going to come your way. and you have to make sure that you're at the right place at the right time around right people
Yeah.
to make sure that you first achieve these small opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's how I would like to quote opportunity, because like, you know, as I said, I want to quote like two people in my life, because opportunity is,
Yeah.
and this is what I've learned, opportunity is so when people say like, you know, people are lucky or not lucky, luck is an intersection
Mm-hmm.
of
Wow.
opportunity and preparation.
You want to look at the camera and say that again?
Right. Luck is an intersection of opportunity and preparation.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you get lucky. If you're prepared enough and there's an opportunity in front of you, you'll get lucky.
Okay.
That's one thing. Second thing, I would like to quote my dad, which is, if you're in a war and you're standing in front of your enemy,
Mhm.
right? The only thing that matters is who shoots the bullet first,
Yeah.
right? So be that person
Mm-hmm.
who shoots the bullet first,
Wow.
right? And that's when you'll
Mhm.
reach your goal, and that's when you'll be successful, I would say.
Yeah. You want to look at the camera and say that again?
No,
Yeah,
I think that's
Oh.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You did
Yeah.
choose the violence.
Huh?
You woke up and chose violence.
Uh,
That's why you shot the bullet at no, all jokes here. I have no issues with her. He does.
No, I don't.
Yeah, man, that's a good way to end it.
Yeah. Well, tell me about you. Like, you know, based on your experience, how do you define success?
I don't.
You don't?
And this, you know why I came up with that question?
Why?
Because I want an answer.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a small backstory, and this is why I'm learning different things. You know, I'm still trying to figure out how would I define success, right? And hearing all these answers from our guests, including you now, it's interesting, the different takes,
Yeah.
and the different perception of success. So when I do have an answer, and when our audiences start commenting on YouTube and asking for it, I might give it. So, you know, stay tuned, keep watching. You never know when I'm going to give my version.
Wow.
But,
Yeah.
you see,
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
oh, man, good episode.
Good episode.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Right.
I would say shout out to my sister who came up with this idea, because we would not have done this.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I would say like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
Show some love to our editor/producer by giving more love to the episodes. And yeah, we'll see you soon.
And please comment. We want Pratik in our next podcast.
He's not going to come. Yeah. And that's it. Thank you,
Right.
everyone.
See you. Bye.